Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for being here. So, intuition. How do you discern what is intuition and what is your amygdala freaking out and trying to keep you small? Well, I think, at least for me, intuition is often quite physical and quieter. When it's my amygdala, it's very chatty. It comes up with all kinds of logical reasons not to do something or to do something. Whereas intuition, again, at least for me, is very somatic. Yours might be different, and you'll have to do experiments to figure out how yours speaks to you. But for instance, like a no in my body feels very tight and constricted in my chest area, especially around my diaphragm. And it feels like I'm in like cold concrete, or I am cold concrete. It's very uncomfortable and solid feeling. It's kind of difficult to describe, but in contrast, a yes feels warm, expansive, like my rib cage feels open and I feel like I can breathe and I feel excited. I feel like this effervescence, like these bubbles just like coming out, even if I'm afraid, kind of like cresting the top of a roller coaster. And I can give some examples of where I felt the fear, but also felt the excitement and knew it was a yes anyway. When I asked for my current position at work, I had no training in it. There was no real reason for them to give it to me, except that someone was retiring and there would be room for me. And so it was pretty scary. I'm not used to asking for things like that, but I decided that I needed to and I wanted to, and I felt a little sick to my stomach, but I still felt that expansiveness and that bubbliness and that like excitedness when I asked, or basically told them that I wanted the position. And I also had a replacement for my position lined up, which was great. I think that helped my cause a lot. But so that was one situation where I definitely felt the fear and did it anyway. Posting on here. And even back when I first decided to start posting my art to Instagram, and my art at that point, after a long hiatus, was very juvenile looking. And I was very nervous about showing it in the public, but for some reason it felt important to me that I do so. So that was another area where I felt the fear and did it anyway. And it really worked out. I met someone on Instagram who has since helped me enter my art into a couple shows at galleries in the city, which is amazing. And that never would have happened if I hadn't gotten over my fear and listened to my intuition and gotten on Instagram. Now, I've also had some no's that I didn't listen to. And I can't really get into specifics here because I'll end up talking about people and I don't want to do that. But let's just say I've signed a couple contracts that I didn't feel good about, that I felt that constriction. I didn't have a logical reason as to why. Like the other party seemed all in. and made promises, and I chose to believe them over that icky feeling in my body, and it did not work out for me several times. And so yesterday I had that feeling about something again, and so I declined an offer, and that the other party was like, why? And I was like, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't pass the vibe check. I didn't say that, but so it just doesn't feel right in my body. It's a no. I don't have an explanation for you. I'm sorry. And they're like, well, you just shut the door on something you don't even know if it would have worked for you or not. And I'm like, I did. Yep, that's on me. But the thing is, like, I felt immediate relief from that pressure, from that icky feeling. And I know, and especially with that person's reaction, I know that I made the right choice. And so sometimes it's really hard to go with your intuition because you can't explain it. And if this is a struggle for you, I recommend Sonia Choquette. She has multiple books, I think several oracle decks, and a channel on YouTube. SoniaChoquette. She always talks about doing a vibe check on things and not explaining yourself. It's really uncomfortable at first. People want reasons why you don't want to do things or why you do want to do things. And with intuition, you don't have reasons other than feelings. It's like, my intuition tells me to. And the thing about your intuition is that I feel like the more you believe it and trust it and listen to it and follow it, the more it will speak to you. If you ignore it all the time, it's not going to bother warning you or cluing you in to fresh opportunities, because it's like, well, she's not going to listen to me anyway, right? Why bother? So you just have to get used to that discomfort of being like, just didn't pass the vibe check. Sorry. I mean, you could be the greatest person in the world, but maybe you're just not right for me. Or it could be the greatest program in the world, but just not right for me. It doesn't mean that the other thing is bad. It just means it's not right for you. All of those times when my intuition said no and I did it anyway, like, I don't have any hard feelings towards those situations. It is on me that I didn't listen to my intuition. Those were lessons. So yeah. What else is there to talk about this morning? I think that, I don't think I have anything else written down in my notes. Nope, I don't. So I'm going to find another page in our friend Rick Rubin's The Creative Act, A Way of Being, to get the ball rolling. Let's see here. That page looks not clear cut. Oh, we already did adaptation. We'll have to find another one. I feel like this goes well with what we were just talking about. We are dealing in a magic realm. Nobody knows why or how it works. Tuning out undermining voices. We may take years, even decades, to create our first project. It typically develops in a vacuum, in an ordinary way, in a conversation, mostly with ourselves. I know that both of my YouTube channels definitely started that way. After we share it, outside influences can emerge. An audience appears, whether it consists of friends or large groups of strangers. individuals and companies with business interests can sign on. And as we begin to work on our next project, loud outer voices may speak to us from the sidelines, influencing us in different creative directions, demanding the work now without concern for quality. As these voices can enter the artist's head, concerns for deadlines, deals, sales, media attention, public image, staff overhead, growing the audience, keeping the existing fan base, they can undermine our focus. Yes. And I think that goes right along with the talk about intuition. I cannot get this side sectioned evenly this morning. It happens sometimes. Sometimes sections just happen and it's beautiful, and sometimes it takes like 6 tries. Okay, I think we're on a roll here. But yeah, this again ties into learning to listen to your own voice and not the fear voice in the amygdala. Again, I'm going to recommend Jill Bolte Taylor's Whole Brain Living for learning how each area of our brain interacts with us and how to interact with them in return. But some quick little exercises to start to get comfortable with your intuition are telling yourself a truth and seeing how you feel in your body. It can be something as simple as "my name is" and stating your actual name. And then saying "my name is Albert Einstein" or someone else that you definitely are not, and seeing how that feels in your body. You can also do strength tests. I'm not as much of a fan of this one because you kind of need another person. I think you can also do it with a weight, but you need props or another person to do it with. And I want to clue into something that I can use at all times, no matter where I am, whether I'm alone and whether I have something heavy on hand to test my strength. But apparently we're much weaker when we are lying, even if we're not aware of it. So that is a test. But I just like to clue into things I know are true and I know are false, and see how I feel in my face, in my stomach, in my rib cage, in my diaphragm, all over my body. What does it feel like when something isn't true for me? And what does it feel like when it does? And then when you get used to those sensations, you really start to notice them much earlier when you are in situations. And those are your little vibe antenna that tell you when things are good and bad for you. I feel like there's somewhere else I could go with this, but I am spacing out on it, so maybe I will have to leave it for another day. Yeah. So I don't know when I'll post this, maybe Monday, or when you'll see it even. I mean, who knows in that case. But for me, today is Friday, and I am very excited about that. It is also Friday before a 3-day weekend, which is even more exciting, even though I plan on spending much of that time wrangling my insane yard, which just is exuberantly growing in all kinds of directions that I do not appreciate. And oh man, I brought my earbuds in here and I put them right in front of me and I still forgot to put them in. So I'm sorry if the audio is quiet. I'm really trying to be better about putting them in because I think the audio is a bit better when I'm wearing them, but God damn it. ADHD for the win. Hopefully It's not that bad. I mean, I feel like the quality isn't terrible. It's just quiet when I listen to it back on my phone on YouTube. So anyway, I hope that whatever day it is for you, that it is lovely and that you have wonderful things coming up on your horizons, and may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be wealthy, and may you feel at ease. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.